It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan. With me, Richard Jefferson and Greg Anthony. And as always, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge joining us from the sidelines. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Spurs. On Tuesday, they'll go up against the Grizzlies in Memphis. Then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Gordon Hayward and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's going to be San Antonio off the tip. So with Duncan sitting on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. We've got Duncan. Duncan out there with Duncan. Then there's Duncan. And it's Duncan in at the shooting guard position. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. And game one of the NBA season, Greg, is here. Does everyone get butterflies, or is it just me?
No, I'm right there with you, partner. The anticipation has been brewing for months. Nothing like opening night.
Here's Duncan following the basket by Giannis. And the foul called on Antetokounmpo. That's his first foul. Duncan up on top. Antetokounmpo defending. And Duncan gets it to go on the assist from Duncan.
Love a big man who can pass. Great instincts. Duncan finds the open man there for the bucket.
Giannis against Duncan. Giannis passes to Giannis. Rebounded by the Spurs.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
We've played just over a minute here in the first. Duncan outside. On the wing, Duncan. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession. And here's Giannis. He'll bring it up for Milwaukee. Antetokounmpo, no good. Here's San Antonio now. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Duncan scanning the floor. On the wing, Duncan. He can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo kicks to Giannis. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Tim Duncan picks one up.
Man, with that skill set at 6'11", Giannis might be the toughest guard in the league.
That one misses. Last outing for San Antonio, it was a loss to the 76ers. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
A tremendous score with the ball in his hands. Duncan, just too much for the D to handle.
Duncan hits them both. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Giannis outside. Back to Antetokounmpo. Duncan against Giannis. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And defensively, you hope you've accounted for everything. Then Giannis whips out the floater. Insane.
Duncan, the pass to Duncan. Kicks to Duncan. Passes it to Duncan. Back to Duncan. Shot clock at 6. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. For Antetokounmpo. Again, the miss by the Spurs. For Milwaukee, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Here's Antetokounmpo. Duncan with the block.
He's the defensive anchor for this team. Duncan excels at reading shooters and then altering their shots.
Now here's Duncan. Duncan right side. Lays it up and banks it in.
And Duncan just superb when he gets in close to the basket. Has a number of moves to choose from, and that soft, delicate touch near the rim.
Spurs leading by 4. Pass to Duncan. Duncan outside. Duncan kicks to Duncan. Spurs passing it around. From outside the arc, Duncan can't hit. And he's got his first chance at the line here.
I think what makes Giannis special is how uncomplicated he is. The man is just an incredible, pure athlete who simply loves the game of basketball. That's all there is to it.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Antetokounmpo's checked in. Spurs also with the sub. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Tim Duncan. Giannis, no good.
He's got to know not to take that shot when he's so closely defended.
And now, here comes Antetokounmpo leading the break. It's good.
And the strength Giannis has in his upper body allows him to just brush off the contact and complete that play.
Now here's Duncan. Duncan outside. And there's the pass to Duncan. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And how about the attack there from Giannis inside, going right into the defense and still able to get the shot up.
The Bucks making a switch here. Antetokounmpo's checked in. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for the Spurs. Now here's Duncan. Scoreless thus far. The shot's good.
Duncan with that innate ability to shoot the basketball.
A nice shot there by Antetokounmpo.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Duncan outside. Pass to Duncan. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Duncan with the block.
And setting the tone with that rejection. Duncan, the defensive anchor of this team.
Duncan, the pass to Duncan. No good on that one. Good D by Giannis. Bucks trail by 3. Antetokounmpo kicks to Giannis. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Duncan grabs the rebound. And here's Duncan. He'll bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. Duncan drawing the double team. Over onto Antetokounmpo. The rebound by the Bucks. 1:50 left here in the opening quarter. Antetokounmpo finds Antetokounmpo. Third time is not the charm. 0 for 3 from the floor so far. Duncan with it. Now guarded by Antetokounmpo. And the foul called on Antetokounmpo. That is his first foul of the game. Antetokounmpo's checked in for Milwaukee. Antetokounmpo comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. San Antonio also making some changes. Duncan comes in for Duncan. And it's Tim Duncan in for Duncan. Duncan dishes to Duncan. Duncan, the pass to Duncan. And it's in there. Duncan's got his second bucket of the game to go.
I love a big man who can pass. Great instincts. Duncan finds the open man there for the bucket.
Giannis against Duncan. Giannis kicks to Antetokounmpo. And it's off from three-point range.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Duncan outside. The high post shot. He shoots again. Duncan misses.
Not his best efficiency this quarter. Look, sometimes that's how it goes.
Giannis, that's a two-pointer. A rebound by the Spurs. Duncan's got 4 rebounds in this game. Duncan outside. On the wing, Duncan. Duncan outside. Back to Duncan. Duncan with the screen on Giannis. Duncan left side. Over Giannis. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Giannis with it. Guarded now by Duncan to stop the drought. Giannis no good. San Antonio leading by 5. And it's Duncan penetrating.
A tremendous score with the ball in his hands. Duncan just too much for the D to handle.
The Spurs have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
Yeah, last year, collectively, only 74% from the line.
And Duncan drops them both. And here is Antetokounmpo. Makes it off the glass.
Contact just doesn't matter against Giannis. Once he's inside, he is not to be stopped.
And we reach the end of the first quarter. It's the Spurs up 5. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
And let me tell you, when you establish a physical edge, it gives you a mental edge too.
So with Duncan sitting on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. Duncan out there with Duncan. Then there's Duncan. Then there's Duncan. And it's Duncan in at the point. Duncan, the pass to Duncan. Duncan with the bounce pass. And the rejection by Giannis. And the dunk by Duncan. Here's Giannis. Still without a basket. Here's Antetokounmpo. Great D that time from Duncan.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
And here's Giannis from outside. And it's Antetokounmpo picking up the assist. Antetokounmpo's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Duncan outside. On the wing, Duncan. Giannis Antetokounmpo grabs the miss. Bucks trail by 4. Passes it to Giannis. Wow, Giannis with a strong finish inside.
And that's the beauty of Giannis. Always been a willing passer and can find the open man once the D focuses in on him.
And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. We've all heard about some of the unwritten rules between players. Any examples you can speak on?
Well, you don't want to be out there injuring each other. I think one of the biggest unspoken rules is you got to be very, very careful when a guy takes off, how you hit them. That is something you learn at a very early age in basketball.
Giannis Antetokounmpo's checked in for Milwaukee. Antetokounmpo comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. To the inside, Duncan. The teardrop falls in. And it's 6 points for Tim Duncan.
Love a big man who can pass. Great instincts. Duncan finds the open man there for the bucket.
Giannis outside. Takes the 3. It's hauled in by Duncan. Spurs leading by 4. Pass to Duncan. Shoots from 14. Giannis grabs the miss. And so Antetokounmpo will bring it up for Milwaukee. Over in the corner, Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo against Duncan. It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. Still yet to score. Just 2 to shoot. Antetokounmpo, no good. The Spurs have gone 2 of 6 in the field in the second quarter so far. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. And the rebound goes to Duncan. So it's the Spurs now. They lead by 4. Duncan, the pass to Duncan. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
Love to see Giannis get aggressive on defense, using that reach to track down the block.
Yeah, there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
To the middle, here's Duncan. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. Duncan's got his first points of the night.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Giannis, no good. San Antonio leading by 4. Duncan kicks to Duncan. Duncan outside. Duncan outside. Duncan against Giannis. Just 5 on the clock. He gets it in there. Duncan's got 4 points this quarter.
And shooting-wise, he's been fantastic, helping to build this lead.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Antetokounmpo dishes to Antetokounmpo. Oh, and Antetokounmpo hammers it in.
Giannis will take on any defender. Nice finish that time.
And now the first timeout called here for the Spurs. A different look from Milwaukee. Antetokounmpo's checked in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Antetokounmpo subbed in for Antetokounmpo. San Antonio also making some changes. Duncan, he's checked in for Duncan. Duncan comes in for Tim Duncan. And it's Tim Duncan in for Duncan. And looking at that replay again, just a big-time block right there.
And this is why coaches stress the importance of defense. Big block there in this close game.
Duncan outside. Giannis against Duncan. Duncan outside. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Over onto Antetokounmpo. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Bucks trail by 4. Antetokounmpo passes to Giannis. Launches it. Rebound San Antonio. Duncan with it. He kicks it to Duncan. Back to Duncan. Over Giannis. Duncan misses. Milwaukee has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Here's Antetokounmpo. It's hauled in by Duncan. Spurs leading by 4. He dishes it to Duncan. Now the pass to Duncan. Back to Duncan. Duncan against Giannis. Duncan kicks to Duncan. Inside. Out to Duncan. Down low. No good from Duncan. And the Bucks with possession. Giannis passes to Antetokounmpo. And the rebound goes to Duncan. Duncan's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Duncan outside. Duncan against Giannis. Over onto Antetokounmpo, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Pushing it up. Antetokounmpo dishes to Antetokounmpo. And that one no good to start him off on the night. And San Antonio shooting 31% in the second. Some poor shot selection for them in this quarter. Duncan kicks to Duncan. Duncan left side. Over onto Antetokounmpo, and too long on the shot. Bucks trail by 4. Outside, Antetokounmpo. It's deflected. Now here's Duncan. Duncan outside. They need this one. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
Love to see Giannis get aggressive on defense, using that reach to track down the block.
Duncan outside. Duncan. Not going to go that time. Great D that time from Giannis. Giannis with it. Guarded now by Duncan. And so Antetokounmpo looking over it. Tim Duncan with the rebound. Duncan's got 4 rebounds in this game. And the foul called on Antetokounmpo. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second, and I think they'll keep him in, but he's got to be careful. A third, and he'll sit for the rest of the half.
A different look for Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo's checked in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo comes in for Antetokounmpo. And Antetokounmpo subbed in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Duncan, he's checked in for the Spurs. Duncan comes in for Tim Duncan. Duncan, the pass to Duncan. Duncan outside. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
Love to see Giannis get aggressive on defense, using that reach to track down the block.
For the 3, and he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. Thanks for the great interview, David, and we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
Thank you for joining us. Getting right,
Zach, this reminds me of our day. They're not just hoisting up 1,000 threes. They're dumping the ball inside to the paint and then going up strong. I love it.
Me too, Kenny. I hope they win like this. I really do.
And now let's take a moment to look into the future. Here's the upcoming. And that about wraps it up. And as the third quarter is about to begin, we go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. One of the top stories here, Tim Duncan getting it done today.
Man, how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
He always wants to be a go-to guy for them. I'm sure he'll be calling for the ball even more in this half.
Antetokounmpo out there with Antetokounmpo, and then there's Antetokounmpo, and then there's Antetokounmpo, and it's Antetokounmpo in at the shooting guard. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. So he gets them both. And here's Duncan. He'll bring it up for San Antonio. 4-point game. And following this game, they'll challenge the Grizzlies on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. Glad we got the chance to see that remarkable rejection.
And guys, that is lockdown defense at its finest, going right at the shot and then able to knock it away.
Duncan against Antetokounmpo. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
And there's the length of Giannis. Bad idea to even attempt to get that shot over.
Duncan misses. The Bucks shooting a terrible 27% from the floor. Boy, an off night for them to say the least. The strength, the might, Giannis!
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Yeah, taking it right to the rim. One imagines that might be discussed at halftime. That's going to be on the film.
Spurs working the ball around now. Top of the key, Duncan. Duncan outside. Just 4 to shoot. The 19-foot shot. Duncan misses.
Well, he better buy his teammates dinner tonight because they've covered him for what has been a terrible, absolute terrible shooting display.
To the paint. Here's Antetokounmpo.
So impressive, the fortitude, the will to battle back, but it did take a lot of energy to get here.
And as tired as they might be after fighting to tie it up, they have all the momentum now to finish this comeback.
Inside. Here's Duncan. That doesn't go either for Duncan.
That's a big donut, folks, here. Start the second half. 4 straight they've missed.
Just outworking the shooter, keeping the shot off target and bagging the rebound.
And there's the call on Giannis Antetokounmpo. That is his first foul of the game. Two minutes into the second half of play now. Duncan outside. Over Giannis.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts.
Here's Giannis. Money from the wing. Antetokounmpo's got the lead up to 2 now for Milwaukee.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
And coach called his timeout to try and reset things on offense. Shake them up a bit so they can hopefully start getting some shots to fall.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Duncan outside. Pass to Duncan. Duncan in the corner. 5 to shoot. Over Giannis. San Antonio again missing. And it's the Bucks ball. Good momentum. 8 straight points. Duncan against Antetokounmpo. And no good. Nice D from Duncan. Duncan kicks to Duncan. Pass to Duncan. Duncan against Antetokounmpo. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
Love to see Giannis get aggressive on defense, using that reach to track down the block. And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. The free throw drops for Duncan.
Yeah, the quiet intensity that Duncan brings, just incredible. He's a consistent force whose teammates really look up to.
Duncan outside. Over Giannis. Duncan misses.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Giannis with the muscle!
They haven't looked the same on defense during this second half. Seems like they are relaxing and allowing them to get whatever shot they want.
Duncan outside. Antetokounmpo against Duncan. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
Love to see Giannis get aggressive on defense, using that reach to track down the block.
Giannis, he's checked in for Milwaukee. Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. While we have a chance, let's take a look at the teams that led the NBA in rebounding last season. The Bucks #1.
They had such a strong presence in the paint, just a physical team. They dominated the interior in terms of rebounding.
And it's Milwaukee's ball. They're on a 10-1 run right now. Duncan with it. Outguarded by Giannis.
Love to see Giannis get aggressive on defense, using that reach to track down the block.
From deep, Giannis. A rebound by the Spurs. Duncan's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Duncan, the pass to Duncan. Looking to get back on track here. Antetokounmpo looking it over. Antetokounmpo finds Giannis. San Antonio with the rebound. Duncan's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Duncan, the pass to Duncan. Duncan against Antetokounmpo, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
A tremendous score with the ball in his hands. Duncan just too much for the D to handle.
And the Spurs making a change here. Duncan's checked in, and Duncan drops them both. Milwaukee in the lead. Here's Antetokounmpo. And the rebound goes to Duncan. And here's Duncan. He'll bring it up for San Antonio.
And that fourth foul, guys, might force him to scale back the aggression from a defensive standpoint. He does not need, nor does the team need, number 5.
And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Bucks.
All you have to do is look at one stat, and that is their block numbers. It tells you how tight their D has been. They've been going out of their way to smother the defense.
And also, guys, they've been showing how dangerous they are in the open floor. When they see a chance to get easy points, boy, they just jump it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Antetokounmpo's checked in for Antetokounmpo, and Giannis Antetokounmpo subbed in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. San Antonio calls timeout. Duncan kicks to Duncan. Back to Duncan. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Here's Milwaukee now. They're on a 12-4 run. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Guarded now by Duncan. Powers through inside. Giannis.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Spurs trail by 4. Duncan outside. Duncan, the pass to Duncan. Duncan up on top. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
They are losing because he is struggling so bad, and he has not looked comfortable all game.
It's hauled in by Duncan. Duncan's got his 6th rebound on the night. Duncan dishes to Duncan. Over onto Antetokounmpo. That's in, and the Milwaukee lead is cut down now to just 2 points with that basket from Tim Duncan.
Duncan with that innate ability to shoot the basketball.
Puts it up from 17, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
I guess we can credit the defense for that one going wide. They did everything they could to influence the shot.
And there's the call on Giannis Antetokounmpo. That'll be foul number 5 on him, and due to the bonus, will be headed to the free throw line. This is his first free throw of the game.
This has become a theme for these guys. Way too many missed chances at the line.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Duncan. Duncan comes in for Tim Duncan. And it's Duncan in for Tim Duncan.
Man, with that skill set at 6'11", Giannis might be the toughest guard in the league.
Tim Duncan, he's checked in for the Spurs. And both free throws good for Giannis. 40 seconds left to play here in the third. Giannis against Duncan. Floats one. Antetokounmpo's checked in for Antetokounmpo. The Spurs have gone 9 of 13 from the line. And he knocks down the first one.
Yeah, the quiet intensity that Duncan brings, just incredible. He's a consistent force whose teammates really look up to.
Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio.
Yeah, take it up strong, big fella.
26 seconds left in the third. Duncan against Antetokounmpo. Now here's Duncan. Defense is right there. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. At the elbow, it's Antetokounmpo. Tim Duncan with the rebound. And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Yeah, the quiet intensity that Duncan brings, just incredible. He's a consistent force whose teammates really look up to.
With 1 on the clock. No good on that one. And We just finished the third quarter, and we got a tight ball game here. Bucks lead by 3. And we'll get going after this from Milwaukee. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Serving it up on a platter, that is a beautiful dish. And 2 teammates on the same page. Woo.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. So with Duncan sitting on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. Duncan out there with Duncan. And it's Duncan. Then there's Duncan. And it's Duncan in at the 3 spot. Clock at 4. Duncan misses. Bucks leading by 3. Here's Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo is a monster inside.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Here's Duncan, and they cash in right away with the quick shot.
Duncan with that innate ability to shoot the basketball.
Antetokounmpo inside. Duncan on him. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Get him the ball anywhere close to the hoop, that thing is over.
And there's the call on Giannis Antetokounmpo. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Bucks making a switch here. Antetokounmpo's checked in. And San Antonio also making a switch. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Duncan. We played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Duncan finds Duncan. Duncan outside. Six on the shot clock. Top of the key, Duncan. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Good. Nothing but net.
Love a big man who can pass. Great instincts. Duncan finds the open man there for the bucket.
And so Giannis will bring it up for the Bucks. 3-point lead. It doesn't go for him. Great D that time from Duncan. Free throw good, Duncan. Antetokounmpo's checked in for Milwaukee. And San Antonio also making a switch. Duncan's checked in. The Spurs have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. To the middle, here's Duncan. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
A tremendous score with the ball in his hands. Duncan just too much for the D to handle.
That one drops. He ties it up. Bucks shooting poorly, just 35% so far. Antetokounmpo kicks to Giannis. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. Antetokounmpo passes to Giannis. Kicks it out to Giannis. Over Duncan. Milwaukee, no good that time either. And San Antonio shooting just 26% out there. A terrible showing from an offense capable of much better. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Down low. Antetokounmpo beats the defense again.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Duncan at the elbow. And good that time. Duncan's got it all tied up now for the Spurs.
And Duncan just superb when he gets in close to the basket. Has a number of moves to choose from, and that soft, delicate touch near the rim.
Here's Antetokounmpo, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, easy call.
No good on the free throw.
I think what makes Giannis special is how uncomplicated he is. The man is just an incredible, pure athlete who simply loves the game of basketball. That's all there is to it.
And the Spurs making a change here. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Duncan. Duncan comes in for Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Duncan. And it's Duncan in for Tim Duncan. Here's Duncan. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. And the Spurs lead by 1.
And Duncan just superb when he gets in close to the basket. Has a number of moves to choose from, and that soft, delicate touch near the rim. And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Duncan with the bounce pass. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Antetokounmpo. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Antetokounmpo's checked in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis, he's checked in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Giannis is subbed in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Spurs also with the sub. Duncan's checked in. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that one's good. Duncan.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
And his team needs every bit of his production if they want to pull this one out. It is neck and neck here in the final period.
And you love watching Giannis operate inside. So assertive and forceful.
Pass to Duncan. Back to Duncan. Wide open look. Rebound, Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Strong work at that end of the floor.
Making it look simple. The athleticism of Giannis on full display.
Spurs trail by 3. Duncan dishes to Duncan. Oh, the block shot grabs it out of the air. It's stolen by Duncan. Antetokounmpo against Duncan. Duncan up on top. Duncan scanning the floor. And the pass to Duncan. Duncan in the corner. It's up a 3. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Giannis with some nice D. Greg, their offensive approach has been rock solid here.
And they're finding the weak spots in the D and attacking them. And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
San Antonio calls timeout. And some changes here for the Bucks. Giannis comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Antetokounmpo subbed in for Antetokounmpo. The Spurs also changing it up. Duncan, he's checked in for Duncan. And it's Duncan in for Tim Duncan. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. Now, he talked about keeping confidence. He said, this game is close, but we know we're the better team. Now it's time to go out there and prove it. See if they can come back in this one, guys.
All right, thank you, David. To the inside. And Duncan throws it down.
How about the concentration from Duncan? Doesn't budge, even in the biggest of moments.
Duncan against Antetokounmpo. There's 1:54 left to play here in the 4th. Off the left rim and out.
Really thought he had this one, and the defense, they were giving it to him.
Duncan against Giannis. Inside. Duncan inside. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Oh, just got too aggressive. You've got to play smart. Got to it on the way down. That's a big whistle.
Now, Antetokounmpo. Down low. Here's Giannis. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Tim Duncan picks one up.
Well, Giannis has to push out the distractions here. Take his time and don't rush his process.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line. And it's a 3-point game.
Certainly some pressure on those free throws, but he still delivered.
Duncan outside. Kicks to Duncan. It's thrown by to Kumbo. Now the Bucks moving it up.
And setting the tone with that rejection. Duncan, the defensive anchor of this team.
The shot missing. Duncan against Giannis. Duncan, the pass to Duncan. On the wing, Duncan. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo, and he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let him dribble the game out.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
Big trip for Giannis. Normally at the stripe, he's better in the pressure moment.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game.
Gets them to fall, and those are huge free throws. It's now a 2-possession game.
Duncan kicks to Duncan. There's the dish to Duncan. With some arc, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And now they decide to foul intentionally. Gets the first, and that increases their lead to 6.
I think what makes Giannis special is how uncomplicated he is. The man is just an incredible, pure athlete who simply loves the game of basketball. That's all there is to it.
And so they foul intentionally. Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
I think what makes Giannis special is how uncomplicated he is. The man is just an incredible, pure athlete who simply loves the game of basketball. That's all there is to it.
So it's Milwaukee picking up the win. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. And now our New Balance player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.